All right, all right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Wow, what a day we had yesterday, guys. What a day. So we have a lot to cover today. I feel like I'm saying that every day here. What's up, little boo boo? Anyway, good morning, good morning. All right, so today, welcome to the Morning Brew, Beyond Charts Morning Brew. And again, there's little bit here to cover. I've been up all night, not all night, been up since 4, just came from a run. So just, ran to my desk to do this. But right off the bat, let's go into the news here, guys, because there's some news that I definitely want to cover with you guys. Good morning, JDH. Good morning, and let's see where the opportunities lies this in this beautiful morning here. So right off the bat, again, uh, you know, so there's something going on in the markets, and I haven't put the pulse on it. So we're having a reversal here. The futures did reverse, and they reversed on midnight. So that's what I've noticed. It was kind of odd. Which leads me into my next theory, which I talked about last week. But again, all indices are recovering a little bit. Futures, so right here we're at, we're recovering. We're recovering across the board. The movers this week today is Bank of America, United Health, PG, and we can look at what's going on here. There's a few other movers that I researched this morning. So Bank of America, United Health, Morgan Stanley, Procter and Gamble, Sony. Okay, SoFi's deal went through. Tegna, ASML. ASML came out with amazing report. Amazing report. They upbeat 22 in sales, growth forecast with shares adding 2.2 in pre-market trade. They did amazing. But the chips aren't moving, which it's weird. I find that odd that they're not moving. As far as oil prices have surged, we're probably going to hit $100 pretty soon. Nasdaq is tinkering with the 200-day moving average. Barron's, again, high yields. The Fed, I don't think that we're going to go up until the Fed, guys. So I don't think that we're going to go up till next week, January 25th, 26th, and I don't even think we're going to go up. But let me go into where the levels are at. As far as, let's look at the overall market forecast here, okay? So the overall market forecast, as I told you, right? So we're looking at the S&P 500. This is the dailies, the NASDAQ, and the Russell. So again, we always start here because we want to know what is the forecast moving forward or going ahead. So, with that being said, as I told you in the beginning of the week of the video, the week ahead, the S&P doesn't like to stay at the 50-day moving average. Okay. What I'm also noticing, the MACDs we just started this momentum swing down. Now the thing about the longer time frames, it takes a little longer to reverse, right? But when it starts, it takes a little longer to reverse. So when you see these crossing, just know that it's not going to reverse in the next day or two. So we're going to expect, we can expect this type of action, but mostly we see weakness and it's going to the downside. Now we hit our levels yesterday. The levels that we hit, we closed this gap. We hit the 45.81. We hit that. We hit them all. The question is, are we going to head lower? And there is a possibility that we could head lower at 45.29, even though the futures are up. 45.04, right? So here's the deal. Like any time that we break the 50, that should give you a little clue that there is possibly weakness. Anytime we hit the 50, you have to understand and what type of market climax are we in right now, okay? And I'm going to share with you a little deep dive I did. We hit the 50 and we're working our way lower. Now, I want you to look at this graph. So and I'm going to go back. Can I go back even more? No, it's not letting me. Let me see if I can go back more if I make this bigger. I'm sure I can. Yeah. Okay. So look at this from. Wow. It's not. Is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So I guess I have to shrink this a little bit. Okay. So let's look at it from 2008. From 2008, and this was the crash. We skyrocketed all the way up here, right? So let's look at that. And I kind of want to, we skyrocketed. We had a few pulses here that we went down. This is actually, COVID. Now, let me see if I can, I'm trying to zoom in here. So we've been following that 50-day moving average. But every time that we went down, it was due to a rate hike. So it was due to a rate hike, guys. So, and what I mean by rate hike is that right now there's and I talked about this. I kind of want to talk about this a little bit more. And the NASDAQ is the same way. We can go back and see robust earnings, okay? So the Russell is showing a lot of weakness. Obviously, this is weaker. On the NASDAQ, we still look like we can go weaker. So, and again, we had a dead cat bounce here on the Russell. The Russell's at jeopardy of like on a cliff, right? Is that going to happen? Don't know. And when I told you the other day or last week, I forget what day, we can check out the videos. I said that more than likely, we're probably going to not drop down. I think that we're going to drop down, go up, drop down, go up, drop down, go up, drop down, go up. And then at the last leg, it's probably going to drop, right? And then little by little, you're going to hear the people on TV telling you, it's not that bad. You should buy this, buy that. And you find that the S&P now is down here. And all along, they've just been dropping it. And what is that significant of? Is significant of the big institutions unloading their shares little by little, because they're not going to do it all at once. Okay, it's not going to happen all at once. I've been through this in 2008. 2001, if you study that, that's how the market reacts to that. And then at the last leg, they're going to more likely, drop it. Okay, so that's what I'm noticing right now. So anytime it breaks to 50, just be conscious, right? It should have bounced there. There was lack of enthusiasm there. We're heading into earnings. Goldman Sachs came out with some not so good news. Morgan Stanley came out this morning and they stated that they have no problems, right? But yet again, do you believe them? Because JP Morgan came out and said they have problems. They have wage inflation. So what's going to happen with Morgan Stanley? Is it because they're not paying their employees and then they're going to find out that everybody quit next quarter and they moved on to another, organization? So again, it's just be conscious and listen to what the earnings report are saying. NASDAQ is weaker and is due to the TNX. So be careful with tech, be careful with your SPACs, be careful with anything that involves them having some money to create. If they have no sales, it's going to be very difficult for them to generate sales in the future, especially in an environment where money is going to cost more, right? So they have to pay the interest back. So just be careful of that, of any investment that require that. Be careful of any IPOs and so forth. That's why Rivian is dropping for multiple reasons. Russell's dropping right now. So again, I think we're going to have, up days and then down days. So what I'm noticing is the up days are probably going to be up and they're going to sell into those up days. So that's what I'm noticing. And I want you guys to be conscientious of that. Everything is being sold off. So, and the reason why is because of reevaluation, right? So if I go into the VIX, and guys, I moved it a little bit here, so I have the VIX here on the left, and I moved the Treasury notes to the right. So I just moved it. If I go into the TNX, the Treasury note, I want you to observe something here. Okay, so if I go out, right, and I'm gonna go out. Let me see if I can I go out? I'm going to just go monthly, okay, because that might be easier. All right, so let's just go out. And I want you to observe, do you see something in common from 2008, right? 2008 right here. So the notes were at 5.348. And notice from 5.348, we dropped. And during this drop to 0.397, this is a TNX. The market reacted very, very, very positive, right? And a lot of it had to do with money being so cheap. So right now, if they're tightening this curve, and you can see that this was last quarter when it went up, and now we're seeing this thing creeping up. So is it going to go up to 2.0? And remember, next week, Powell things are going to change, right? So there's three things he's going to say. He already said he's going to stop the taper. We know that. We know the rate increase is going to happen. Right now, we're expecting 1%. 2022, 1.5 in 2023. Is that going to change? And then that's expected to happen in March. So is it going to happen sooner? There's going to be a reaction. So if he says it happens in February, it's going to happen. If he says there's going to be more rate increases, it's going to happen. It's going to increase 50 basis points. Boom. We're going to see a reaction. The reason why is because all these stocks, all these companies, every single company that are valued at these prices are basically valued because of the fluctuation of money supply, right? If there's less money supply in the ahead, then that means that people are going to spend less. So there's going to be less demand and so forth. So all of these now, the P ratio is going to be reevaluated, and that's what the market's doing right now. They're going to reevaluate everything. Tesla, Apple, everything. So it doesn't mean that, things, so when you hear people say, hey, these things might drop, it's because they might drop, and it doesn't mean it's not going to come back up. It might come back later, maybe 5 years, 10 years down the road. I don't know, if they reevaluate things, right? Because now that company, it's a good company. They're still producing money. So that's why you want to look at companies that have low debt. But even if they have low debt, they're still going to be reevaluated because people still need to buy their product, right? So just want you to be aware of that. And this is something the Treasury note, if this starts creeping high, and this is the importance of this Treasury note. Remember, money is super, super cheap. Now, that also got us in trouble. So if this needs to go up, so again, our GDP is 100% of our debt. We need to get our GDP up as a country. So that's what I'm looking at here. And let me get rid of that because I look at dailies here. But right now, okay, so on the VIX for today, for the setups for today, we are on the high range of fear or put buying, right? So if we break 23.37, I think in the next first half hour of the market being open, you're going to know if this is real or is it going to sustain or is it going to pop. Watch that 23.37, okay? If fear dies down, then you'll know real quickly we're probably going to head to this range. And if we break below 21.16, that means that we can probably work our way a little higher. It doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. Okay, so watch that. If we start working out, this is the range for last week. So these boxes are the ranges, right? So if we start working our way lower to this range, then more than likely, yes, we're probably going to creep our way a little higher. But again, so we're in the top range of last week. That's really, really significant. Tuesday, which is the first day of trading, sets the tone, okay, for what we're looking at. So what I'm looking at for today is 23.20. If that takes out, then, even if it comes down, it starts, even if it stays in this range of yesterday's range, just be conscientious. It can go either way and just watch it for a potential move up or down on the XPX. Okay, the bond just is the inverse of this. All right, so let's go into the XPX. Okay, so what I'm noticing right here, this is the hourlies, this is the 15-minute time frame. The range for today, and I looked at what are the E-minis doing here? So let's see what the E-minis are doing. So we have ES1. Okay, ES1, cool. So the E-minis today, again, so we had a nice reversal midday. The line in the sand is 45.69. That's the 4 a.m. hour, okay, on the E-minis. Again, let me look here on the hourlies. Okay, you got the hourlies, and then we got the 15-minute time frame right there. All right, on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so right here, so the line in the sand was at 4 a.m. If we remain higher, we should be bullish. Now, how high should we go? We're probably going to go to that, that 50-day moving average around 46.08. MACDs look good on the hourlies. On the 15-minute time frame, we're working our way higher. There are some levels up here that we have to be conscientious, which is 46.15, on the futures. So again, right now we're going to open at 45.88. If we open right now the XPX, that's 45.88. That's 45.98, just underneath 4600. Again, this is the level that we're going to be looking at, 46.13. And if this is probably going to turn. If that turns, can we get up to that 50-day moving average on the hourlies? If we can get there, that's probably going to be a good setup for a trade for the XPX. On the 15-minute time frame, You know, 46 right there, 46.11 on the XPX. So this is going to come in. So I'm really excited if this starts creeping up right now. We're going to meet at 4600 right there. If we open right now, really close. Something big will happen there. And if you notice, this happened before, like during after market hours, but notice how it's following the 50 days. So if we get up here, if we get up to that level and the MACD start going up and it starts rolling over, right? And I'm gonna see if I can draw that. If the MACDs start going up, right, and they start rolling over, then more likely we're probably going to see, you know, another opportunity. If we break above 46.13, let us set up. We're probably going to get up to that 46.63 right in there. Okay, so watch those levels. I think there's a nice setup right here in the next first 30 minutes of the market being open. If it hits up and starts rolling over, it's probably going to go head down, and you have a target of 45.68 on the lower side. And if we take that out, and I talked about this yesterday, we fill this gap here, which is around 45.73. And then if it takes that out, we can probably even go to 45.32. Okay. Just if we observe here, and I want you to observe this, and I mentioned this to a friend of mine. Look at, this is the hourly and the XPX. Look how it touches a 50 day. So right now the trend is going down, right? Let's see what happens at that 46.65. If it can get up there. I don't know if it can. If not, if you look at the 15-minute time frame, look how it bounces off the 50. You can make some money here. You just have to be patient, right? So we noticed the same type of thing in consolidation. So again, let it come down. Let's see what happens here. And this is the way you're going to take the trade. The most high probability trades you're going to take is at the 50. This is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this setup right here. Okay, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm being patient. That's the trade I'm looking for. Okay, so as far as that's the setup that I'm looking at. So again, 46.11, I'm going to be eyeing it. And then if it starts turning, there's going to be a trade maybe down to that 45.70. Guys, that's about 40 points. Okay. If we start going a little bit higher, watch it. We're going to watch the MACDs like a hawk. And then that's going to be another setup. Buy yourself some time. If you're going to do this, don't do 0 days to expiration, especially if you're brand new. Give yourself some time. Okay. All right, let's move forward. Let me see. Good morning, JDH. What's up, buddy? I want to say goodbye to a couple guys. Finally back. Good. All right, skaters, what's up? Good morning. And when you had can Goldman Sachs doing a fake out because they will profit from rate hikes? That's a great question, and that's an interesting point. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and we talked about that. It's just, yes, in theory, yes, Goldman Sachs should do well, but it's not. And we're gonna look at Goldman Sachs in a little bit. Let's go here. I'm gonna change things up here. This is the hourly 15-minute time frame. Okay, let's go here, and I'm gonna show you this perspective. Okay, so let's go XPX. Let's go to GS just to go right there. Okay, so here's Goldman Sachs, right? And the left side is the hourlies, the right side is the 15-minute time frame, right? And I'm just going to show you where we're at on the dailies, so you have just a clear picture. Goldman is weaker, right? We broke the 200-day moving average. There is some buyers coming at 346. The MACDs look weak, right? In theory, yes. So here are the numbers of Goldman, right? So yes, they did make money, but if we go to the Goldman's financials, right, and you look at the income statement, and you look here, gross profit, right? So again, in 2021, they made $64.99 billion. But here's a trigger. Trading 12 months. So again, obviously 2022 is not in the book. So they do trading 12 months. That's what TTM stands for. It's the last 12 months from this quarter. Then they went down to 64.68 billion, right? And operating expenses have increased. And this is what they were talking about. Their expenses have increased and just going to keep going higher because the new hires have to pay them more. So again, because of wage inflation. Now, so this is what the market is having a reaction to right now. And yes, in theory, Goldman should do well, and maybe this candlestick, it's going to open up at 358, but right now is being sold off. It had some relief here. Actually, it's opening up lower. Wow, I'm sorry, 347. So again, In theory, yes. So it's holding these levels here of 347, but MACDs don't look good. It's going to have a relief bounce. Let it come back up. It's probably going to fill that 375, but right now they're selling off the banks. And again, this is what I'm reevaluating. Money becomes more expensive. Again, yes, the banks should do well, but also what people don't realize is that the default rates are going to happen as well. So at some moment, default rates are going to increase, right? Because you got to understand, you have a loan right now at an adjustable rate. It goes up. What's going to happen? You can't pay that. So your default rates are going to go up. So we have to adjust for now how much money that bank is going to make. Yes, in theory, people probably will save more, but leave their money in the bank. But again, so again, and in an environment, you have to look, say, okay, yes, high interest rates are good for banks, but why are they selling it? They sold it off because of those other reasons as well. So again, if you're interested in Goldman, don't chase, let it base, let it do is let's look for reversal patterns. But right now they're selling it. All right, so let's go into real quick. I have the XPX here. XPX, I talked to you about that. Still working his way lower. Let's see how it reacts to that 46.12. NDX still working his way lower. And I have the dailies here. Let's go to hourlies. Okay. So NDX, again, again, if it takes out 15,169, could work his way lower. On the hourlies, it looks like it has a little bit more juice. On the 15-minute time frame, it looks like it's trying to reverse. Let's see what happens. 15,338. Let's see if it can go back to the 15-minute time frame. All right, on the Russell, this is the Russell futures, guys. So I just, for whatever reason, not letting me go in. Russell's heading up higher. Let's see how it reacts to that 21.29. Again, broke the 15-minute time frame. Let's see if it bounces or reverses. That'll be good because the Russell was at jeopardy of a cliff. Again, Google. Let's see if Google can move. I have boxes here somewhere. No, let me move it over here. This is okay. Let's look at Google. And Google, I'm going to go here, chips. Okay. And Google right here. Okay, so Google, again, this is the range from last week on the hourlies. Google's reversing here. So let's see if Google it's going to head up to that 50-day moving average around 27.85. That can happen pretty easily. So that's going to be leveled there. On the 50-minute time frame, looks like it has some juice. Can it get up there? And 27.85 puts me 27.85 puts me where? Right there. So right in this consolidation area, right in here. So see if it can get up there. Right in there, 27.80, 27.90. It looks like it probably wants to go there today. Amazon, working its way higher. Again, we have some relief going into Amazon. Amazon to get it better, 32.04 to get it cracking is probably going to hit to that 32.27. MACDs look good on the hourly basis. On the 15-minute time frame, looks good. It looks like it wants to bouncing off the 50. And, yes, if it goes to 32.05, it's going to go, and it can probably head up to that 32.44. 32.31, 32.44, right in there. And then if it has a robust day, it can go even a little higher. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla, strong. All right, so here's the thing about Tesla. Out of all the stocks were down yesterday, and Tesla was pretty strong. It ratted up high. Again, Tesla's trying to break. And the thing about Tesla, look at the dailies too. If we look at Tesla got rejected at that 50-day moving average. So right now we're at 1057, right? So if it can take 1060, it's going to break above the 50-day moving average. MACD is going to start turning. It's going to look pretty good. So right now, what are we going to do? It's starting to move. Let's see if it can break that 50-day, regain that. There is some headwinds at that 1055. Definitely sold off. Yes, at 1071. Watch those levels on the 15-minute time frame. Let's look at it. Let's see. I don't like it. We'd like it to see a little bit stronger, but anything can happen in the next 35 minutes. So is it going to roll back? The point of control, the most trades right now, pre-market at 1042. Watch it. So here's the deal. If you see the MACDs come back down and break through and starts breaking that point of control of 1042, it's probably going to start going a little bit higher. Can it regain that 1053 and 1070? If it starts coming back lower right here, it's on the hourly. So remember, on the arrows, we like to take our trades. If this thing starts turning, it's probably going to go lower. So that's the trade, 1025 to the downside or upside about 1070. That is your Tesla trade. We take trades off the 50. We don't care up or down again, but that is a trade. That's what I'm looking for today right there. That's the setup. Okay, ISRG. They have earnings coming up. They're taking it lower. Pre-market taking it lower. So again, let them take it lower. There's nothing here that I'm noticing for a trade. This could be an exhaustion sell, a low probability trade. Here, the market's trying to rally. Let's see how it happens in the next 30 minutes around 300. Again, if it gets to 50, the MACD starts turning. That can maybe make a run to 311. Or does this go back lower to 3294? Watch at 300. CMG. Again, let's look at CMG. And again, let me just put that in there. Okay, so CMG, again, they're taking it lower, right? These guys have earnings too. CMG was pretty strong. I thought this thing was going to come back to 260. There's still that probability, but there's a divergence here on the 15-minute time frame. There's a divergence. If this rallies and starts breaking that 1484, it can probably go back to 1507 and then maybe 1531. Is it going to happen? Don't know. Watch the overall market, because if the overall market reverses, it's going to bring it back down. Now, if it goes to 1483 and starts reversing, it can go to 1468 and 1460. Okay. On the hourlies, it looks like it probably is going to head up to that 50. So watch it. If it goes up, it's going to be the same levels, but the trade is at the 15-minute time frame. On the Apple, working his way lower. Okay. So Apple broke. Here it is. So Apple trying to reverse today. Pre-market looks good. Looks good. So it's bouncing off 170. Right now, currently it's at 170. The MACDs look to have a second win. If it takes out pre-market 170.89, maybe it can rally up to 172, which puts me right at that 50-day area on the 50-day moving average. So let's see if things can recoup the 50-day, because again, I think that we're going to go back up to the 50 days on a lot of these things and see what happens there. BTC, and I'm going to do that later. All right, let's go into, and if you have any stocks you want me to cover, write them down in the comments. We're going to get to them as well. LRCX again. So LRCX again, this one should be up on the ASML news. So pre-market, it is moving. This thing should be way, way higher on the ASML news, and it's not. So are they waiting to take it up? So I'm not, buying it yet. So ASML pre-market looking good. It's going to regain to that 50-day moving down. Probably going to hit 700. What happens there? Don't know. 700 puts me right at that 50-day on the hourly. So if it starts taking out, again, the trade's going to be at that $700. Okay. If it starts going higher, it can probably hit 715, or is it going to rally later at 731? Again, the news was phenomenal on ASML, like amazing. The only thing I can suggest or look at, MU, when they came out with their earnings, they came out with good guidance as well, but they also stated something that they said that we should be careful of manufacturers shutting down in China. So don't know if that's what they're talking about, if that's the news that's kind of hitting the chips, but watch it at 700 to see if either for a down trade or up trade. So it's either going to go to 713 or it can go to 676. Pretty simple, easy trade here. Again, it can go either way. All right, so again, Goldman Sachs, we talked about this already. Looks like probably wants to come back to that 375. Let's see if it can get up there, right? It's probably going to rally pre-market. 375 would be the target, right? So 375, there's going to be some consolidation at 365. 375 is going to put me right in here. So watch it and watch how it reacts there. All right, Netflix coming out with earnings on Thursday. Okay, so watch Netflix. Don't know about Netflix earnings. It can go either way. Pre-market is starting to rally, broke to 50. How high can it go? Don't know. Maybe that 521, 526. Let's see how it reacts to that 50-day around 520 first. And let's see if it can hold that. If it starts going higher, it can probably go to that 527, 538. Again, Roku. at the 50-day. So we like this setup here. Roku's at the hourlies on the 50-day moving average on the hourlies, and it's on the 15-minute time frame on the hourlies. So it can go either way, guys. So Roku, easy trades at 167. If the MACD starts turning, it can probably head down to that 162. If they start breaking through, it's probably going to go to that 172. On top, 179, 190. Anything's possible. If it breaks lower, 160, could probably head down to that 140. But we like these trades at the 50. On the 50-minute time frame, either one. It goes for both. NVIDIA. Again, okay, so the news on the ASML is finally hitting the wire, is bringing NVIDIA stock up a little bit. Watch it at that 265. See how it reacts there, 266, 265. If they take it up, it's probably going to go to 272 and 280. If it starts rolling over, it's probably going to hit down to that 257. So watch it at that 265 on the 50-minute time frame. Looks like it's going to have a second wind. Is that enough to carry it through? Don't know. Melly. Melly is having a reaction. Look at this reaction pre-market. I don't have the pre-market. This was at the close. Melly is the Amazon of South America. But let's see how it reacts at 1147. If it can take that out, 1200 pretty easily, and 1227. If it reverses, watch the MACDs. I'm not getting the feedback pre-market. So this is last night. So I'm not sure yet. 1106, 1092, 1009. Watch it. Okay. Apple, we talked about Apple already. Shopify, again, so this is a perfect example. They came out with the merger of China, right? They came out with the merger of China, and basically what happened? It didn't go up, right? So watch it at that 1090. Again, pre-market is looking pretty good. This maybe has some juice, a little bit left. Not buying it. It's probably going to stop around 1080 right in there. It's probably going to reverse. Let it come back to the 50-day. Let's see what happens at that MACDs here on the 50-minute time frame. If it can go, it's probably going to go to 1100. TTD. TTD. Let's see TTD. TTD right now is basically, where's TD? TD right now is right. It's probably going to head back to that $74, $75. Not really liking TTD. Affirm. It's probably going to head back to that $69 level. Let's see what happens there. Let's see if this reverses. Can probably hit 63. Breaks that's going to go lower, maybe 60. On the 50-minute time frame, looks good. Right there, 65. It can either go back up to 69, 68, 75, or break lower. But something big is going to happen today on that one. UPST at the 50, close to the 50 on both. If it breaks through, it's going to go to 115. If it breaks down, it's going to go to 108, currently 112. Again, same levels on both. Hubs. You got Hubs. Okay, so we got Hubs. Hubs is working his way higher. I don't have the pre-market action yet. So, again, if it starts going higher, watch it around 475. Let's see how it reacts to that 490. And let's see where it goes there. Zoom. Working his way higher. Let's see how it reacts to that 161. If it goes 162, it's going to go possibly 171. It's got 10 points there. Or if it reverses, we got 156 to the downside or lower. Booking. So we got airlines announcing, American Airlines announcing they're taking it lower. I don't have the pre-market. Wow, I don't have the pre-market on these things yet. It's right now, let's see if it can get back to that 24.35, 24.15, 24.10. Watch it so you can regain that. Now, just they're taking this one down, guys. So looks like it wants to go back up. Not really a trade there. Coin. I like coin. So watch it at that 226. See if it starts turning. It can probably head back down to 219. If it takes out 227, it's probably going to go to 231, 232. Maybe. I don't think that's going to happen, but anything is possible. So we got coin. All right, let's go into the chips. Let's go into the chips, guys. INTU. INTU not moving. Okay, Qualcomm. Let's look for the movers here. Qualcomm not moving. Oh, Qualcomm right here. Okay, so it's probably going to come back to that 184, puts me right in there if it moves higher. Okay. ASML. Can it get moving? I don't know. Great earnings. Amazing earnings. Watch it at that 740, 746. Can it get to 775? I don't know. Or is it going to work its way lower? If they take this one down, guys, it's not good for the market. These guys actually killed it, made money. So watching it, pre-market looks like it needs to reverse a little bit, but watch it. They're probably holding this back. Anything can happen in the next 30 minutes or so, or 30 to 25 minutes. AMD, right there. AMAT, sold off. If they take this one higher, it's probably going to go to that 159, 157. Avgo, they're taking this one down. Now, this one is having a reaction on ASML. Can it get back up to 600? That is a possibility. 600 is probably going to be the next level. 591 to really get it going, get that spark. Okay, but ASML, fresh to the MACDs, I think the ASML could probably hit 600. Okay, 592, watch it. It's going to spark it. Okay, MU, trying to go. It's probably going to hit 95 at some moment. Let's see what happens there. Roblex, real close. Watch how it reacts to that $79 level. MACDs on the 15-minute time frame looks like it's about to roll over. Let's see. Intel, INTC, just nothing. NVIDIA, we talked about the LRCX, we talked about KER. Let's see how it reacts to that 684. Can I get a second win or break down? 15-minute time frame looks like it's probably going to go back that 680. Let's see how it reacts to 683. KLLC, trying to work his way higher, maybe going back up to the 425 area, right in there. Marvell trying to work higher, maybe can get 80. It's really close, 79.80. Not really a big mover. Let's watch TSM. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors, right? They're not moving, guys. So they're not taking the chips up. So that's alarming. All right, let's look at BTC. BTC is holding pretty strong, guys. Here's my crypto section. Again, it's planning out. So we're seeing a bottom possibly forming. I see a lot of demand in this area. The 50 days coming upon us. Watch that 44,338. Let's say 4,500 for the 50-day. Is this a bottom possibly? Maybe. MACDs are telling me possibly. So watch it. Maybe a bottom. Yes, I called it. It might be a bottom. It might be a bottom. Okay. It might be a bottom. There you go. I'm saying it again. So again, MicroStrategy will move. If this is a bottom, this is going to move higher. So watch it. Watch BTC. There's buyers coming in here. It's holding that VWAP. MACDs are giving me a divergence here. Yes, I'm calling it. Ethereum also maybe is forming a base. It's not there yet. Maybe a base, but I'm watching it. If the MACDs can remain positive, let's see if it can hold. If it's 34.32, Bitcoin 44.5. Let's say 44. Let's say 45. 45. Ethereum 34.50. The 50 days coming down. Let's see what happens. It's getting close. It's getting close. Let's watch it. All right, guys. That's all we got. It is now. What time is it? It's 9:08. All right. Let's see if there's anything here that I think I like. I gave you the setup for XPX. That's what I'm watching on the S&P 500. Amazon, if it takes out 3,200, can run to 3,247. Tesla, watch it. It could move. Maybe it can retest that 1070. Tesla was really, really strong yesterday, despite the sell-off. Again, Google, early. Let's see if it can hold. If it starts taking off, it can hit that 2,800 level. right in there, right in that 2790, 2800. It can probably run. Is it gonna run? Don't know. You're gonna watch the overall markets, see if they start rallying up, because remember, these guys can rally up to their 50-day moving average. We're pretty far away. So when they rally up to the 50, it can move these up a little higher, right, to their levels. So always trade the levels I gave you. CMG is holding pretty strong. Let's see if it moves here. It's at the 50. Maybe take 1507. You got some points there. Always can go to the downside. I gave you some trade setups here. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. I'm gonna get ready for my day. Again, I'm going to be doing this live on TradingView. If you like what you've seen here, please press that like, subscribe button. If not, also, I just want to point this out. We're going to start my class this week on Sunday. If you want to join, we have a couple of spots left. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to go into depth of this trading system, how to find, supply and demand levels, market psychology, momentum trade, everything. We're going through that live one-on-one slowly and making sure you understand these moves. Again, go to my Patreon page. It's right there. All right, guys, go out there. If you want a little bit more help, I'll still be doing this. I'm not taking these away. All right, guys, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to say adios. Go out there. Go get it. Make sure to press like, subscribe, share, sign up for the class if you haven't done it yet, and go out.